harnessing the power of digital technology together, I believe there's no limit to what we can achieve for the world.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to officially welcome you to Microsoft's Bersama Malaysia Global event, empowering Malaysia's inclusive digital economy. We're so excited to be broadcasting to you live from Putrajaya, Malaysia this morning. Today is a momentous milestone for Malaysia as Microsoft will announce its most significant commitment to empowering Malaysia's inclusive digital economy. To start off, if I may, I would like to invite Encik Muhammad Faisal Ahmad from Microsoft Malaysia to lead a bacaan doa to grace our event today.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin wassalatu wassalamu ala asyrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin wa ala alihi washabihi ajmain. Ya Allah, ya Rahman, ya Rahim, hanya padamu sahaja kami panjangkan kesyukuran atas segala rahmat dan berkat-Mu. Bersempena dengan majlis pada hari ini, kami memohon inayah dan taufik-Mu, kurniakanlah kesejahteraan dan kebahagiaan pada kami. Bukakanlah hati-hati kami, lapangkan dada kami supaya kami dapat mengisi ilmu pengetahuan yang berguna untuk agama, bangsa dan negara. Kami memohon kepadamu agar Engkau berkatilah majlis ini dengan limpahan rahmat-Mu. Semoga segala usaha kami dalam menjayakan majlis ini mendapat keredaan dan hidayah-Mu. Sesungguhnya pada hari ini kami berkumpul kerana-Mu, Ya Allah. Ya Latif, Ya Rahman. Please bless us with Your taufiq and hidayah. Please guide Malaysia to greatness, peace, glory and prosperity in world and hereafter. Make us responsible intellectual, granted us with a valuable knowledge that will be beneficial to mankind. Make us Your righteous servant that follow Your command and neglect the sinful act. Please forgive us for our wrongdoing. Wa sallallahu ala sayyidina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa salam. Subhana rabbikal izzati amma yasifun wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa salam. Walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.
Amin. Thank you, Encik Muhammad Faisal. To open the event today, I am pleased to invite Mr. K. Raman, Managing Director of Microsoft Malaysia, to deliver his welcome remarks.
Yang amat berhormat Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin, Prime Minister of Malaysia, Yang berhormat Senior Minister, Ministers and Deputy Minister, Secretary General, Heads of Department, distinguished guests, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon, and I hope all of you are keeping safe and well. I would like to thank Yang amat berhormat Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin for taking time to be with us today. Ladies and gentlemen, as we were thinking of the theme that best befits Microsoft's 30 years in Malaysia, Bersama Malaysia captured our partnership with the nation. For the past 30 years, Microsoft has been together with Malaysia to democratize the adoption and use of technology and equip our people with digital skills, tools, and platforms to create and innovate. The culmination today is made possible through the partnerships and collaboration with all of you, our customers, our partners, and the government, bringing to life the spirit of Bersama Malaysia. In the last 1 year, COVID-19 has hit every country. It is more than just a health or an economic crisis, and the impact on our society has had far-reaching consequences. However, we do not have to accept these low points, as we, as a nation, can and will strive to make a change for the better. As such, we felt it is even more important for us to stand with the nation to respond, recover, and reimagine Malaysia. Kami Bersama Malaysia. Microsoft stepped in as the digital first responders to the first responders, delivering vital technological support for those impacted by the pandemic. We saw 2 years worth of digital transformation happening in 2 short months. We've seen the profound role of digital infrastructure in ensuring business continuity and economic resilience, which brings us here today. We stand ready to reinforce this infrastructure so that our first responders and frontliners are fittingly served. Our teachers, lecturers, and students are continuously achieving academic excellence, and the private and public sectors are operating seamlessly, staying safe and yet effective. Ladies and gentlemen, to chart Malaysia's future, we welcome the government's launch of My Digital and its bold and progressive vision to empower Malaysia's inclusive digital economy, an inclusive future that is driven by greater innovation and where every rakyat has an equal opportunity to succeed. And today marks an important milestone in Microsoft partnering with Malaysia to achieve the aspirations set out in the blueprint. It is this responsibility that underscores our commitment to Malaysia. This is in line with our mission to empower every person and every organization on the planet to achieve more. Today, we work with more than 2,000 partners in Malaysia to empower organizations of all sizes across every industry. As computing becomes integral, we commit to support Malaysia's micro, small and medium businesses, large organizations, as well as government agencies, not only to adopt technology, but to master technologies of today and create technologies of tomorrow. It is this vision, bonded with hope and determination, that will make us successful in the new norm, in the new Malaysia. In transforming the public sector, we are honored to have been appointed by MAMPU as one of the cloud service providers. Together with Emphasis, our local managed service provider, we look forward to realizing the government's digital-first and cloud-first ambition, thus enhancing the delivery of citizen-centric services to the rakyat. Ladies and gentlemen, at the heart of Malaysia's digital-first economy is its people. As such, Microsoft is committed to empowering Malaysia's digital workforce and bridge the digital opportunities through our public-private partnerships. Kami Bersama Malaysia. Last year, Microsoft has pledged to bring digital skills to 25 million people worldwide through our Global Skills Initiative. We are encouraged that more than 110,000 Malaysians in the last 9 months have gained new digital skills through resources provided by Microsoft, LinkedIn, and GitHub. As we continue to invest in future talents to lead Malaysia's next phase of growth, we are committed to skilling an additional 1 million Malaysians by December 2023. We welcome communities in the rural area, people living with disabilities, and people from all walks of life to join us in ensuring equal participation in Malaysia's inclusive future. Ladies and gentlemen, we believe it is critical for all of us to work together to achieve the nation's My Digital aspiration. Microsoft is stepping up in our commitment to empower the nation's inclusive digital economy together with the people, businesses, and government of Malaysia. I would like to take this opportunity to thank our partners and customers for joining us on this journey and making today possible. Malaysia is our home, our country. Together, we stand with Malaysia. Kami Bersama Malaysia. Terima kasih.
Thank you so much, Mr. K. Raman. Now, to unveil Microsoft's plans to further empower Malaysia's inclusive digital economy, I would now like to invite Mr. Jean-Philippe Courtois. He's the Executive Vice President and President of Global Sales, Marketing and Operations from Microsoft Corporation, and he's joining us live from Paris, delivering his speech.
The Right Honourable Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin, Prime Minister of Malaysia, Honourable Senior Ministers and Ministers, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, a very good afternoon and apa khabar, Malaysia. It is an honor to be joining you today at Microsoft Bersama Malaysia event. It's an early morning indeed in Paris right now, and I certainly wish I could be joining you in person today. I was fortunate to visit Malaysia just a few years back, and I really look forward to visit Malaysia again soon. I would like to first congratulate Tan Sri Muhyiddin and the government of Malaysia for the launch of my digital and the Malaysia digital economy blueprint. What impressed me is Malaysia's strengths, its diversity, and the nation's strong commitment to be a regional leader in the digital economy. We are fully supportive of Malaysia's digital-first ambition. The theme of our event today, Bersama Malaysia, reflects a long-term commitment in the country. For nearly 30 years, Microsoft is proud to have been in Malaysia, and we're excited to further strengthen our partnership to empower the nation's inclusive digital economy. We see enormous potential in Malaysia's digital-first future. This is why I'm excited that we are announcing our plans to establish Microsoft First Data Center region in Malaysia. Microsoft has announced over 60 data center regions to date, and we are pleased to have Malaysia joining the world's largest cloud infrastructure. This is a game changer for the local economy. According to IDC, over the next 4 years, the data center region will generate up to $4.6 billion in new revenue and add 19,000 jobs in the national economy. It will enable Malaysian businesses to leverage cloud services, AI, IoT, edge solutions, data platform, machine learning, and much more, to empower employees, engage customers, transform products, and optimize operations, all through connected experiences. They will also be able to store data in Malaysia with advanced data privacy and security, and we are taking responsibility to ensure that our investment is sustainable. Indeed, by 2025, we are committed that our data centers will be running 100% renewable energies. We believe that public-private partnerships are critical enablers for Malaysia's digital ambitions. On this note, we appreciate the government's confidence in Microsoft as one of the nation's trusted cloud services providers. We are honored by the partnership to equip the public sector with the tools to remain resilient, become more efficient, and reimagine for long-term impact. We also look forward to reinforcing collaboration with the national industry leaders and digital champions to accelerate the nation's digital transformation. I'm pleased that Microsoft will be signing MOUs today with MAMPU, HRDF, PETRONAS, Celcom, and Corp Malaysia. We are also collaborating with the nation through Microsoft My Digital Alliance Leadership Council, formed in partnership with the Social and Economic Research Initiative. The potential of any country lies in its people. We share the government's My Digital vision that a successful digital economy is when every person has equal opportunities to thrive. The key part in enabling this is empowering Malaysia's digital workforce. More and more jobs will require digital skills in the future. This is why we are stepping up for further expanding our skilling initiative. First, as part of our Bersama Malaysia initiative, we are committed to skill 1 million Malaysians by December 2023. Toward the goal, we are pleased to have formed partnerships with the HRDF, SOCSO, Talent Corp Malaysia, as well as Grab Malaysia. We're also working with local nonprofits to ensure digital inclusion. Our partners include Junior Achievement Malaysia, BG Enterprise, and the National Blind Football Team. Together, we'll provide digital and soft skills training to young adults and people living with disabilities, which will increase their employability and help them succeed in Malaysia's growing digital economy. And what about the future? Well, 24% of the total population in Malaysia is under the age of 14, and these are your future leaders and innovators. That's why we are working with the government and educators to empower students with digital skills. Together with the Ministry of Education, we're providing 5.2 million students and educators with access to Microsoft technologies. And we are working with 10 universities to integrate Microsoft industry content in the curriculum. We are committed to the future of Malaysia. We're excited to be able to share the news of this major milestone, our plans to establish a data center region in Malaysia, and a skilling commitment for 1 million Malaysians. Together, we stand with Malaysia. Thank you, and Terika C. and Salam Ramadan from all of us at Microsoft, wishing you and your loved one a blessed month ahead. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Jean-Philippe Courtois. Indeed, a significant milestone for Malaysia, with Microsoft announcing its first data center region here in Malaysia and committing to skill 1 million Malaysians by December 2023. Next, it is with great honor that I invite the Prime Minister of Malaysia, Yang Amat Berhormat Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin, to deliver his speech. Prime Minister.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera and a very good afternoon. Yang Berhormat Senior Minister and Ministers, Secretary General of Ministries and Heads of Department, Mr. Jean-Philippe Courtois, Executive Vice President and President of Microsoft Global Sales, Marketing and Operations, Mr. K. Raman, Managing Director, Microsoft Malaysia, Sindan Bahar, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, apa khabar semua? Alhamdulillah, let us all express our gratitude to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, for by His grace and blessing we are here today at this very important ceremony to launch the Microsoft Bersama Malaysia initiative in this holy month of Ramadan. As we are all aware, since the dawn of the internet age, life as we knew it changed by leaps and bounds. Today we live in a hyper-connected world, constantly plugged into endless information and data streams, which have altered the global landscape of trade, communications, and everyday living. The Internet of Things has expanded in a world where all of us carry a multi-sensory devices, and we leave enormous data trails in our wake. Data that determine how businesses and service providers interact with consumers, and ultimately how consumer demands are shaped, analyzed, and acted upon. Needless to say, this global deluge of data has elevated the importance of data centers as well as cloud computing. The devastating impact of COVID-19 and the ensuing lockdowns across the globe have forced the entire world to embrace remote work, e-commerce, distance education, and online social interaction on a whole new magnified scale. This new normal for the world has accentuated the importance of global connectivity, amplified the usage of data, and exponentially increased the demand for bandwidth and storage capacities. The digital way of life is no longer a trendy catchphrase. It is our collective reality. Ladies and gentlemen, it therefore goes without saying that data is a new gold. The entire industries depend on it for growth, and opportunities abound for those able to tap into the huge global appetite for all things related to data. In this regard, Malaysia holds immense potentials to become a data hub in the region, owing to the growing availability of high bandwidth, ample space, competitive power tariffs, and now oncoming presence of hyperscalers. We are a small nation with big data ambitions, and the commitment to fiberize the nation with 5G bandwidth and install data storage capacity are just the beginning. As we chart that course, Malaysia fully intends to remain at the forefront of technology by using data to deliver improved services for businesses, increase economic productivity, and ultimately step up Malaysia's competitiveness. As always, government will lead by example. Firstly, in migrating 80% of its data to the cloud by the end of 2022. And this migration, and by having a government super app in the near future, we will go far in widening the data sets in order for the government to pull insights to identify societal issues and coordinate support for the needy. By understanding pattern behaviors and correlations, we hope to be able to use it for predictive analytics. Addressing these issues will help improve public sector service delivery and empower the rakyat. Big data can have a needle-moving impact and is in itself an engine of economic growth. The ultimate question then is, how do we harness technology to enhance social welfare and reduce inequalities while cushioning disruptive transitions at the same time? To this inclusive end, Malaysia's My Digital initiative, together with the Malaysia Digital Economy Blueprint that I unveiled in February 2021, are enablers for economic redistribution and to level the playing field. The COVID-19 pandemic has shown that the most vulnerable often lack access to these technologies and are faced at the greatest risk of being left behind. In this regard, we need and we raise digital literacy across the board through the whole of society approach. Hence, through private-public partnerships under the My Digital initiative, Malaysia is investing at least 50 billion ringgit over the 5 years under various digital infrastructure projects. Meanwhile, the 21 billion ringgit National Digital Network, or JENDELA, plans are progressing smoothly and will provide greater last-mile 5G connectivity to remote areas soon enough. Plans to roll out the 5G connectivity across all high-density areas by 2023 is also going full steam ahead with the recent operationalization of the government-owned SPV Digital National Berhad. All in all, I'm happy to report that all the high-impact touchstones under the My Digital initiative are being executed as we speak. But more needs to be done. And this is where the Microsoft of the world can and should step in. Ladies and gentlemen, on that note, I'm delighted to welcome Microsoft's long-term commitment to be with Malaysia, or Bersama Malaysia, in empowering Malaysia's inclusive digital economy. Under the Bersama Malaysia initiative, which amounts to at least $1 billion or 4 billion Malaysian ringgit over the next 5 years, this plan will include, firstly, to establish its first data center region in Malaysia, effectively consisting multiple data centers to manage data from various countries. As I understand it, according to International Data Corporation, the ripple effects of the data center region investment today could translate into 6.9 billion USD or 28.3 billion ringgit Malaysia of revenue generated in the local cloud ecosystem. For every USD $1, it's 4.2 of Microsoft Malaysia's cloud revenue by 2024. And it is estimated that it will help create 19,000 jobs, including 4,000 IT-related jobs among its cloud users. Secondly, to leverage on big data, Malaysia requires a backbone of not only connectivity and data storage, but also skilled human capital with data science capabilities. And in this vein, I welcome the many public-private partnerships formed by Microsoft and its partners, for which we'll be witnessing the MOU signing today. For starters, the partners include Malaysian Administrative Modernization and Management Planning Unit, MAMPU, the Human Resources Development Fund, HRDF, PETRONAS, Celcom, and GRAD. And being part of Bersama Malaysia initiative, I was also made to understand by Microsoft that these partnerships will help skill in various degrees up to 1 million Malaysians by the end of 2023. And I hope these successful partnerships can be a template to bridge the digital divide and empower each Malaysian through the technology adoption. And it is very much in line with digitalization being primed to play a key medium to long-term enabler role in the upcoming 12th five-year Malaysia Plan, RM ke-12, and Shared Prosperity Vision, WKB 2030. While we are doubling down on our digital ambition, I would hasten to add that we fully intend to do so without compromising on sustainability. And pursuant to that, I'm heartened to see Microsoft's global commitment to shift to 100% supply of renewable energy by 2025 for all its data centers, including Malaysia. As we cement the Microsoft partnership today, I hope this is just the first green shoots of a broader meadow of investment in Malaysia for Microsoft and, of course, for the other data players. And this significant investment for Microsoft further fortifies Malaysia's position as a potential regional data hub, and we stand ever ready to welcome more such partnership as we work with our stakeholders to continually improve Malaysia's value proposition in this big data space. On that note, I would like to thank Microsoft for their confidence in Malaysia, and I look forward to a long and prosperous digital partnership. May God Almighty bless us all in our efforts, and with Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, in the name of Allah, the most righteous, the most merciful, I now launch the Microsoft Bersama Malaysia initiative. Thank you. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you so much. A round of applause, please. Thank you, Yang Amat Berhormat. Could you please kindly remain on stage for our next announcement? And may I invite to be on stage with the Prime Minister, Mr. K. Raman, YB Senator Tengku Zafrul, Minister of Finance, Datuk Sri Dr. Yusof bin Ismail, Director General of MAMPU, Dr. Jasmine Begum, Director of Legal and Government Affairs for Microsoft Southeast Asia and New Markets. To be on stage with the Prime Minister, and joining us from Paris, Mr. Jean-Philippe Courtois, to be on stage for the Cloud Service Provider Award ceremony. During the My Digital launch, Microsoft was appointed by the Government of Malaysia as one of its cloud service providers. This to provide trusted cloud services to the public sector through 2023. Now, in commemoration of this, may I kindly invite Datuk Sri Dr. Yusof to pass the letter of appointment for Microsoft as cloud service provider to the Government of Malaysia, to the Prime Minister of Malaysia, who will then present it to Mr. K. Raman. Thank you so much. YB Senator Tengku Zafrul, if I may invite you to take your seat while everyone else remains on stage for the MOU signing ceremony between Microsoft and MAMPU. For this, we would also like to invite Datuk Sri Mustafa Muhammad on stage. The MOU between MAMPU and Microsoft signifies the joint commitment to digitally transform the public sector and digitally upskill the civil service workforce. Mr. K. Raman and Datuk Sri Dr. Yusof, if you please may sign on the service that is in front of you. A round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. A quick photo op, if everyone could quickly look at the cameras for a photo to mark the occasion. All right, thank you, Datuk Sri Mustafa and Datuk Sri Yusof. We invite you to take your seat while everyone else please remain on stage for the MOU between Microsoft Malaysia and the Human Resources Development Fund, or HRDF. For this, we would like to invite Datuk Shahul Hamid Daud, Chief Executive of HRDF, and YB Datuk Sri M. Saravanan, Minister of Human Resources. Microsoft and HRDF will jointly skill 300,000 Malaysians by the end of 2022 in support of My Digital. Datuk K. Raman and Datuk Shahul, Mr. K. Raman and Datuk Shahul, please sign the service in front of you. Excellent. Once more, a round of applause and a quick group photo. Thank you, Datuk Shahul and Datuk Sri Saravanan and Dr. Jasmine. We invite you to take your seats while remaining on stage for the MOU between Microsoft Malaysia and PETRONAS. For this, I'd like to invite Datuk Sri Azmin Ali, Senior Minister and Minister of International Trade and Industry, together with representatives from PETRONAS, Tengku Taufik, President and Group CEO, and Yang Berbahagia Tan Sri Ahmad Nizam Saleh, Chairman of PETRONAS. This MOU between Microsoft Malaysia and PETRONAS will see both organizations fueling the nation's digital transformation through nation-building and skilling initiatives, as well as digital and innovation commitments. Mr. K. Raman and Tengku Taufik, please sign the surface that's in front of you. Thank you so much. Another quick photo. Smile for the cameras, gentlemen. Excellent. Thank you. Tengku Taufik and Yang Berbahagia Tan Sri Ahmad Nizam. We invite you to take your seats. While on stage, we have the next signing for the MOU between Microsoft and Celcom Axiata Berhad. From Celcom, we would like to invite Encik Idham Nawawi, Chief Executive Officer, and Yang Berbahagia Datuk Izzaddin Idris, Chairman of Celcom Axiata Berhad, on stage. This partnership between Celcom and Microsoft will see the two organizations accelerating digital transformation across SMEs and enterprises through new B2B, B2C, and B2H offerings. Mr. K. Raman and Encik Idham Nawawi, please sign the surface that's in front of you. Thank you. A photo opportunity to mark the occasion, please. Excellent. Thank you, Datuk Sri Azmin Ali, Encik Idham Nawawi, and Yang Berbahagia Datuk Izzaddin Idris. Thank you. We invite you to take your seats. Well, everyone else, for the next MOU signing between Microsoft Malaysia and Grab Malaysia. From Grab Malaysia, we would like to invite Encik Rashid Shukur, Director of Country Operations. Microsoft and Grab Malaysia will be skilling 10,000 Malaysians in 2021, thus improving digital inclusion and digital literacy. This is all in support of Malaysia's My Digital goals to bring equitable opportunities to every person from the rise of Malaysia's digital economy. Gentlemen, please sign the service. If I may kindly request you stay on stage while we invite all the other MOU signatories and witnesses back on stage for a group photograph to commemorate this momentous occasion. Because true to the theme of Bersama Malaysia, the partnerships formed today between Microsoft, MAMPU, PETRONAS, HRDF, Celcom and Grab Malaysia truly reflects the role of public-private partnership to ensure Malaysia's inclusive digital economy. These partnerships that we've witnessed today include joint efforts to include the nation's My Digital aspirations, including digital transformation amongst the public and private sectors, as well as skills initiative for the workforce and employees in the private sector and gig economy. Now, we're really excited to see the impact of these partnerships and how they will deliver for the nation. Everyone, if I can get you to look towards the camera while we have a great photo up. Cameraman at the ready. Excellent. On 3. 1, 2, 3. All right, round of applause, please. Thank you so much to all our partners, and our deepest appreciation to Yang Amat Berhormat Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin for witnessing the signing ceremonies. Yang Amat Berhormat Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin, Mr. K. Raman and YB Datuk Sri Saravanan, Datuk Shahul and Encik Rashid, could I get you to remain on stage for the next program? I'd also like to invite Yang Berhormat Datuk Sri Rizal Marikan Nain American Minister of Youth and Sports Malaysia to join us on stage. Now, together with Malaysia, Microsoft is committed to equipping Malaysians with equitable opportunities in support of MyDigital's inclusive goals. To achieve this, Microsoft pledges to scale 1 million Malaysians by December 2023. Together with its partners, in line with this promise, Microsoft is very proud to present the Certificate of Commitment to the Government of Malaysia. Round of applause, please. We would also like to acknowledge the vision to skill 1 million Malaysians that includes people of all ages and walks of life, regardless of backgrounds and abilities. So for this, we're pleased to invite members of the National Blind Football Team and Grab to join us on stage. Let's give them a round of applause as they make their way on stage. From the National Blind Football Team, we have Muhammad Zamha bin Abdul Wahab from Gua Musang, Kelantan. He is accompanied by Coach Sunny. Zamha leads the National Blind Football Team, which is currently ranked 17th in the world. Now, Microsoft is going to be working with the team to digitally upskill them, and because they've made our country proud, everyone, let's give them a round of applause. Joining us also on stage, we have Siti Fatimah Badrun from Dengkil, who is accompanied by Dr. Jasmine. Siti and her husband Niaz, who is also present in the audience, started driving Grab part-time in 2019, and they're part of Microsoft's digital literacy program running on Grab's platform. In Siti's words, if I may quote her, she said, "Kami bukan golongan yang perlu diberi simpati. Kami golongan yang perlu diberi peluang." Let's keep the applause going. All right, so let's take a group photo with the football jerseys displaying the team name Bersama Malaysia. All right, go team Bersama Malaysia. Everyone got their photos? Excellent. Thank you so much, everyone, for your time. Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin and Mr. K. Raman, if I could get the both of you to remain on stage. And to our other guests, you may take your seats. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is the moment we've been waiting for. We've heard from our esteemed speakers, and we've witnessed many partnerships formed as part of Microsoft's most significant investment in Malaysia in nearly 30 years. So in support of Malaysia's digital leap forward through MyDigital, I would like to invite to officially launch Microsoft's Bersama Malaysia initiative, Yang Amat Berhormat Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin and Mr. K. Raman to touch the orbs on the screens behind you to activate the launch. And thank you, Yang Amat Berhormat Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin, for launching Microsoft's Bersama Malaysia initiative today. As you both take your seats, may I invite you to view the video, Microsoft's vision with Malaysia, and what some of our customers and partners have had to say in line with the government's MyDigital initiative.
The future of Malaysia's inclusive growth is digital. Malaysia's digital economy presents exciting opportunities for every Malaysian to thrive and succeed. Microsoft arrived here almost 30 years ago, greeted by the nation's promising potential. Together with Malaysia, we aim to help harness that potential. As our country progresses further on its journey to become a regional leader in the digital economy, we're working in close partnership with the Rakyat, business and government to help drive Malaysia's inclusive, responsible and sustainable development. To advance Malaysia's digital economy and innovation, we're building and enabling digital infrastructure with our first Microsoft data center region in Malaysia. This will drive new socio-economic opportunities in the country. To further boost Malaysia's growth, we're empowering digital workforce and ensuring digital inclusion, including a commitment to skill 1 million Malaysians by the end of 2023. Our commitment to Malaysia is grounded on our mission to empower every person and every organization on the planet to achieve more. As Malaysia takes its next digital leap forward, together we stand with Malaysia.
Microsoft's long-term investment is a strong testimony that Malaysia is competitive and has great potential to become a regional leader in digital economy.
We congratulate Microsoft's Bersama Malaysia initiative, and MDEC will extend its full partnership to help strengthen the foundation and development of our nation's digital infrastructure.
In this instance, HRDF is proudly collaborating with Microsoft to upskill approximately 300,000 Malaysians as a way to enhance employability through the HRDF Placement Center.
We look forward to support Microsoft's long-term initiatives to help Malaysia drive digital inclusion in Malaysia.
Cybersecurity Malaysia and Microsoft has collaborated in many occasions to mitigate cyber threats and reduce the vulnerability of digital systems, while simultaneously strengthen Malaysia's self-reliance in cyberspace.
PETRONAS is deeply honoured and privileged to support the Bersama Malaysia initiative towards realising Malaysia's vision for a digital economy. PETRONAS fully recognises and embraces technology and innovation as key enablers that will allow Malaysia to continue creating valuable opportunities and nurture new capabilities for the businesses of tomorrow.
Celcom and Microsoft have come a long way in our partnership, embarking on innovative products and solutions for Malaysian consumers and enterprises. We look forward to strengthening the partnership with Microsoft in many years to come and continue to serve our customers by offering secure and reliable cloud services, accelerating the digitalization in the country.
The state-of-the-art cloud infrastructure in Malaysia is very useful for all industries players, from the large corporates who already got their cloud strategy well mapped out to small micro SMEs who are rather hesitant to get into this space.
We're excited to see how close a collaboration between a US company and the Malaysian government can advance Malaysia's digital agenda.
Businesses from various industries will achieve productivity in planning, job creation, maximizing of the use of their available data, and also meeting the evolving consumers' needs efficiently.
The gig economy in Malaysia has become an integral part of the economy and has created new earning opportunities through various services, from ride-hailing to e-commerce to even creating content online.
As one of our key partners in the upskilling initiative, Microsoft has greatly supported our digital transformation. In 2020, we ran more than 40 digital events to upskill more than 2,000 of our employees.
Digitalization is an enabler towards economic transformation. This is echoed the same in the most recently launched Malaysia Digital Economic Blueprint.
Our partnership with Microsoft is the first of its kind, as it enables us to integrate the Azure cloud into our highway toll network system.
As a locally grown organization, I truly believe that Malaysia and her people have what it takes to propel propel ourselves into this new era.
We welcome Microsoft's plan to establish its first data center in the region here in Malaysia. This will help businesses in Malaysia gain access to scalable and resilient cloud services and deploy analytics in their business operations.
To succeed today, embracing and adopting digital and cloud technology is one of the key attributes in driving business growth.
Our partnership with Microsoft has enabled us to minimize the disruptions brought about by the pandemic and further accelerate our digital transformation at Sunway.
Kami Bersama Malaysia.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Microsoft, allow me to express their appreciation to the Malaysian government as well as to customers and partners. Now, they look forward to partnering with all of you towards an inclusive digital economy in Malaysia. Now, ladies and gentlemen, as Yang Amat Berhormat Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin takes his leave, we would like to thank him once again for gracing the ceremony today. Amat Berhormat, thank you for spending time with us today. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for staying with us for the second part of our program today. We've got about 50 minutes of discussion with our great panelists, so allow me to introduce. I'm not going to take any more of their time. Today we have on the far left, we have Puan Surina Shukri, CEO of Malaysia Digital Economy Corporation, or MDEC, Tengku Taufik, President and Group CEO of PETRONAS, Idham Nawawi, Chief Executive Officer at Celcom Axiata, as well as Ms. Andrea Della Demetia, President for Microsoft in Asia Pacific, who is dialing in from Singapore, joining us today. So thank you, everyone, for joining us on this panel discussion. It is entitled Digital First Economy. Malaysia is open for business, and that is a statement, not a question. Now, this last 12 months, of course, hasn't been easy. Economists say that COVID-19 has caused an economic shock that's 3 times worse than the 2008 financial crisis. But Malaysia has remained resilient, and we are seeing signs of recovery. But what this pandemic has demonstrated is the need for us to accelerate digitalization across every sector and every industry. And in line with that, the government has launched a holistic digital-first strategies, often talked about the My Digital program and the Malaysia Digital Economy Blueprint, as well as you've got stimulus packages like Permekasa, Penjana, and Prihatin, all these joint efforts through the public and private partnerships. Also, solid signals that Malaysia is open for business and is on track to become a regional leader in the digital economy. So let's begin our conversation. I'm not going to take up too much time. The way we're going to think about this is perhaps looking at 4 key focus areas. First, looking at Malaysia's digital-first strategy. Second, the nation's digital infrastructure, everything from cloud, data, and connectivity as enablers for that digital-first strategy. And then thirdly, we're looking at reimagining the inclusive digital-first future through public, private, and people partnerships. And lastly, what is the way forward for Malaysia's digital economy? So let me begin by asking Surina first, if I may. So the government has outlined, a vision through My Digital, and I'm wondering perhaps you could begin our conversation today by sharing a little bit about what the government aspires to, and what do you see, what do you envision to be the impact of My Digital on the Malaysian economy?
So thank you very much, and good afternoon, everybody. So I think that question that you just posed literally was covered this morning, just before, with the Prime Minister. And so, of course, it starts with making sure that we've got the enabling infrastructure, and of course, digital economy, you need data, you need cloud, that forms the basis of it. But more importantly, the other 2 elements that was covered as well, and part of the reason why we have our esteemed panelists on here too, is the fact that a digital economy not only needs digital infrastructure, but you need digital skills, you need digital businesses as well. And when you have this will ensure that we have continued digital investments into the country so that we can continue to make sure that this growth is is sustainable, not just a one-time effort. And these really form the foundation that's required to not just develop and advance, but accelerate the digital economy. And in order to do that, private-public partnerships are really, really key, because that's what will allow us to scale. And so now, the vision for My Digital really is to make sure that we have what it takes to thrive in what is not just the here and now. The here and now literally is an economy, it's a world that's digital by default. But from here on, it's all about making sure that we thrive in the era of the fourth industrial revolution, a knowledge-based economy, an innovation-based economy, and that's what we're all here committed to do.
Okay, let's find out a little bit more about that later on in the conversation. But let me move on to Tengku Taufik. PETRONAS, one of the leading organizations when it comes to the digital front. Maybe you can share with us a little bit about PETRONAS's digital journey, or what that's been like, and where you see PETRONAS's digital ambitions going forward.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Melissa, sorry. This is probably a question that has been brought forth and even accelerated given the advent of the pandemic. Even before the pandemic, there was already a trajectory which necessitated us to make sure our ability to the cost to serve the customer was always at its sharpest possible end. And it requires every level to be able to make informed real-time decisions. And as far as that is possible, digital has been such an enabler. But what happened in 2020 has really brought this into sharp focus. What is probably initially initiated by safety concerns forced us to rethink, take a look at our entire operations across our integrated value chain and say, there's a different way of delivering this. In fact, the digital transformation, to quote many of my colleagues, has prompted a thorough transformation of PETRONAS in delivering its business model. If you think about how our aspirations are going to go forth, I think not only are we making very big inroads into moving into cloud, we are actually finding and mapping direct ways into executable solutions that bring our upstream process time frame much shorter, getting our LNG, our liquefied natural gas, to the right customers to maximize our margins. We've addressed what people have as pain points even at the end of the pump. We've got solutions such as Subtle, aiming to understand how we can make sure the refill and refuel experience is a PETRONAS experience. You're just there by the way to fill, but there could be much more opened up. So all of this has just been an immense eye-opener, making Subtle contact-free or contactless, and having LNG being able to be much more flexible has proven invaluable during the time of the pandemic. But as we move forward, these now also unlock further optimization possibilities. And for us, digital is not a luxury. You have to embrace it in order to survive.
All right, okay. We'll come back to PETRONAS's journey and its future aspirations. Can I ask about Celcom? This is for Idham. Idham, when we talk about digital transformation, telco and tech, very tightly intertwined. It's the backbone of the nation's digital economy. Let's talk about Celcom. What are some of the digital initiatives that Celcom has embarked on so far?
Thank you, Melissa. Firstly, I want to congratulate Microsoft for the launch of the hyperscale data center today. I mean, at Celcom, we are proud to be the partner. We are the, the telco anchor tenant. And this is going to become one of the main components of our digitalization effort. Not only for Celcom internally, but also what we can bring to the country, to our customers, and so on and so forth. I think Celcom is we call it a telco, where we're transforming ourselves to become a digital company. It has been around for the past 33 years, and we've been in providing services from the first generation, second generation, third generation, fourth generation, and now as a whole country, we're embarking on the journey of a 5G, and the whole digitalization with the government. So we internally has gone into this digital journey transformation about 4 or 5 years ago. And there's a few areas that we have been focusing on as part of our journey. 4 main areas I can say is how we engage with our customers. The second area is about how we modernize our infrastructure, and cloudification is one part of it. And as any other telcos, we have thousands and thousands of virtual machines in our data center. And we are migrating them slowly.
Now more than 30% is already onto the cloud infrastructure. The thirdly is about how we help our customers, from the small and medium companies. Of course, companies like PETRONAS has one of the largest IT team that can do the digitization internally, but we are also want to help the small and medium companies who does not have these IT teams who sometimes struggles just to even get the right devices and how to get connected, and then how to become a digital company and how to operate. And last but not least is, I think, one of the most important journey of all is the digitization of the people. I think the changing of the people, the culture, the way of working, the processes, etc. You imagine a 30-year-old company and they need to modernize, right? So a lot of things that we have to do. And true enough, I think this digital journey has been quite fruitful to us. And as what Tengku mentioned for PETRONAS, in 2020 was a year of revolution for everyone. The investment that we made became very, very critical to our operation in 2020 when pandemic and the MCO comes to our shores. We're seeing, of course, how our distribution turned into digital. We're seeing how our apps that we built becomes one of the main way that we interact with our customers. 70%, more than 70% of the interaction with customers today is via digital channels. Yeah, so the app, the online, the e-stores, and so on and so forth. So this has been quite a very I would say, exciting journey for Celcom. And our aspiration is that, a very ambitious aspiration that we set for ourselves before the pandemic, of course, is that we want to be the nation's most inspiring digital organization. And we set it up by 2022. But let's see, the pandemic is here, maybe we accelerate that. Or
the nation's most inspiring digital company.
That's why I say we aim high and see whether we can get up there with
Taufik
the best of the
smiling.
best. Yeah.
I think there's a race going on here.
There might be some stiff competition.
I see a duel coming on here. We'll see.
Okay, if I may invite Andrea into the conversation. Andrea, I mean, Malaysia's digital infrastructure is the next bit of where I want to touch to. Where do you think is the importance of cloud, data, and connectivity as enablers, not just to build a robust digital economy, but one that is inclusive, one that is responsible, and one that is sustainable? Andrea.
Thanks, Melissa. And let me start by congratulating Malaysia and the government for the bold and progressive vision outlined in My Digital. I'm so pleased to see how comprehensive the plan is, and most importantly, how inclusive Malaysia's digital economy will be. And to do that, and for every Malaysian business to become a digital business, there needs to be a cloud mindset across the nation. Which is why I'm so proud to witness our plans to establish Microsoft's first data center region in Malaysia. We've seen the impact of cloud adoption across industries in Asia Pacific. For instance, when I think about how agriculture is the foundation for so many economies in our part of the world, I'm reminded about the 10 million farmers in Thailand who were able to continue receiving their subsidies during the lockdown through a secure cloud-based platform. 30 million transactions were processed in the first 24 hours, which is incredible to imagine. And these are farmers who could continue to produce food for the country and to provide for their families as a result. And we all know how the pandemic impacted every business and every supply chain in the early days. Zulik Pharma is another great example. One of Asia's largest healthcare companies was able to ensure that medicines and medical supplies manufacturing remained uninterrupted during COVID-19. So by tapping into the power of the cloud, customers in Singapore, the Philippines, and Malaysia were able to continue treating patients. And if we turn to the travel, tourism, and retail industries, where so many badly impacted by the lockdown, Malaysia Airports launched Shop My Airports, an e-commerce platform, a cloud-based application that ensured airport retailers could continue to operate and build that resilience that was necessary to do so. It's no secret, COVID-19 also caused a seismic shift in education. Education ministries, really around the world, had to migrate online, enabling millions of students to continue to learn from home. But it isn't just students that needed to learn. Educational institutions needed to step up to mobilise and equip educators with the proper skills for online learning. In Malaysia, the Ministry of Education, through DLIMA, empowered 5.2 million students and teachers to access Microsoft productivity tools anywhere and anytime to enable their learning experience. And the reality is that every aspect of our daily life, work, economy, and society are being transformed by technology. And that's why we need to ensure that every person has the skills and tools to succeed in this digital, cloud, and AI future. We recently announced how our Global Skills Initiative has equipped 30 million people globally. And Microsoft products are using AI to ensure that they are accessible to people with disabilities. I'm proud to share that we aim to skill an additional 1 million Malaysians by December 2023. With the world becoming a computer, technology will be critical to help every person and every organisation to adapt to this brave new post-COVID world. So we're going to ensure digital inclusion by working with NGOs and the public and private sectors to ensure our community empowerment and skilling initiatives reach out to every person, including those in rural communities and people living with disabilities. Our unique role as a platform and tools provider really enables us to connect the dots, to bring together an ecosystem of partners, and to enable institutions of all sizes to build the digital capabilities needed in country. And this is what grounds us in our mission to empower every person and every organisation on the planet to achieve more.
Right, wonderful. Andrea, thank you so much. We're going to come back to you in a little bit, but if I may get Surina to just weigh in on what Andrea talked about with ensuring that being digital first is also being digital inclusive, making sure that there's digital inclusion and it's sustainable and it's responsible. How is MDEC looking into that?
So several ways actually. So number one, our entire mantra, our philosophy is to make sure that we have an inclusive digital economy. And we do it through, like I said before, it's the skilling agenda, it's the business digitalization agenda, and the investment agenda. And so I'll cover in the first two. On the skilling side, we recently launched a nationwide campaign called SAI Digital, and that's really around enabling basic digital literacy, and then Celcom is one of our partners, because some people have this perspective that digital, oh really, it's for the startups, it's for the big companies. It literally is not true. And so with this example of SAI Digital, for example, we've gotten a whole set of volunteers, hundreds of volunteers, to come forth and literally sit with the older generation and show, Auntie, this is how you open up online banking.
Okay, so go back to basics.
Back to basics. Okay. We really need to do that. And the reason why it's not so much just to show that skill, but it's to give that confidence. Because I think really on the inclusion side, what's really required is to give everybody the sense of confidence. Because we've just been hit with, oh, this really unknown, it's this overwhelming, I don't know what digital, and the consultants, of course, use the word digital transformation, which sounds really, really big and complex.
And can be intimidating.
And it's intimidating. So really, from an inclusion agenda, it's really to work and do a little bit of the hand-holding that's required to give people the confidence. Similarly, there's a lot of efforts going on right now to enable micro SMEs. So last year, for example, government had a whole campaign. One of the stimulus plans under Penjana is to enable, to onboard micro SMEs onto e-commerce. And so there was a little bit of hand-holding that was required. And so we partnered up with the other platform providers to provide that training, that awareness. And so once everybody starts that digital journey, that overcome that first, the confidence, get that confidence to embrace that digital is really not that hard. You just need to put in a little bit of effort up front. Then that's what we hope to be able to continue. And the third thing that I would say is the role that leaders play. And I think leadership typically, especially now when we're going through this whole phase of growth, change, as leaders, as digital leaders, we really need to constantly remind ourselves to be inclusive. And so sometimes there's this haste of, we really need to execute. And so we also need to make sure that we remind ourselves to make sure that we're inclusive at the same time.
Okay,
so
and
get opinions from the team and whatnot.
And you mentioned this is a partnership with Celcom, and I'm going to come to Encik Idham now. Let's talk a little bit about those very ambitious plans to become the nation's most inspiring digital company and the MOU that was signed today. Let's talk a little bit about how Celcom, being, because you have access to the public, access to businesses and SMEs and micro SMEs, what kind of future do you see that's a digitally inclusive future? What is Celcom doing to achieve that?
Okay. Thank you. Very good question. Now, as I said, Celcom has many users. We can reach all aspects of societies. All spectrum of societies, from the enterprises to the SMEs to the consumers. But I think more importantly, those consumers in the rural areas. I think those are the areas that the people that we need to reach. We need to actually focus on to bring them onto the digital space. I myself come from a small kampong in Terengganu. So every time I go back home, I know how it's like when dealing with the folks at the kampong and with the friends that we have in Kuala Lumpur, how far different that the society is. Yeah. So what we signed on today, I think, is a big step for us. I think it is a part of the piece of the jigsaw puzzle on how do we bring this digitization into the country. The cloudification, that is important. Having it in country is very, very important from sovereignty perspective. Also from the performance of the whatever application that we are using it for. For example, of course, we do improvement on the network from 4G, then later we're moving to 5G. We improve the latency on the network, but having the data center in country, onshore, save, if I'm not mistaken, I was told between half a millisecond to 1.5 milliseconds. I mean, it seems like lesser than a blink of an eye, but to a robotics application for PETRONAS onshore, it means either something drop or the other way. To a gamer, it's either you shoot or you being shot, right? So that's half a millisecond. 1.5 milliseconds would mean. This onshore means a lot of things, and I think we can bring this a lot to our customers through the partnership with Microsoft. We have our, of course, Celcom Business Suites. We have all these kind of applications to help the SMEs to come on board in the most easy way. And I think that we have in plan. But what's important also, what I was mentioning about the inclusivity of this to the rural folks especially, and together with MCMC on that we're doing the program, I think everybody knows the Jendela. I think that's also another important aspect to connect. Otherwise, if we have the cloud, we can't connect, then we also have a problem. So the connectivity is also another important aspect of this digitization. So through Jendela, I think one of the most important pillars of Jendela is we call it 3G shutdown. But to me, it's not about shutting down the network. It is about upgrading a 3G user to a 4G user. And it's about upgrading their capabilities to access into whatever that the digital world can bring. Because if you are still in the 2G or 3G, you won't be able to access whatever. And earlier, Prime Minister spoke about government super app that can do a lot of things for the people. So if they're still on 2G and 3G, they won't be able to do it. So this 3G shutdown and also upgrading to 4G is the first step to get them to become a digital. So that's part of the digital the inclusivity. And for Celcom, this is very, very close to our heart. We have a compass. one of the pillar is about helping the government to achieve an inclusive digital nation. So we as a 33-year-old company, we want to continue to play a role for the next 30 years, how we make Malaysia into a fully digital company.
And why not? You know, I mean, the pandemic has caused us to rethink the way we do things, and why not build back better? Why not build back a more inclusive digital society? Tengku Taufik, may I come to you and pick on something that Surina said about the role of leadership in creating a digital-first economy, digital-first business, a digital-first outlook. What has been your role as a leader in creating a digital-first business?
Along with the entire leadership team, by the way, it's a great question. The need, as I mentioned earlier, for real-time informed decision-making has compelled us to bring information and analytics right up to the fore. And insofar as PETRONAS' own aspiration, and I've got my chief digital officer in the audience, he doesn't like this KPI, but he's got to make sure that we are going to get at least 80% of our people informed with analytics, some of them having to be practitioners, some of them going to have to be deep specialists inside the group.
80% of PETRONAS
yes,
staff
80%,
will be
yes,
equipped
80%.
with analytical skills?
From basic, intermediate, all the way to specialist. That's why he doesn't like this KPI, but that's
PETRONAS is really giving Celcom a run for its money.
That's why Surina detected the smile. But insofar as having leadership conversations and strategic decisions, everything is now being pushed to the fore. My own little unicorn is to ensure that at some point, executive leadership team meetings, board meetings will be suffused with real-time information. So we have operations which are already embarking on creating more and more digital twins. I've got something which I hopefully by the end of this year, what we call the Resak platform, will go remote. All of this will be enabled, of course, with 5G, with the kind of cloud-enabled technologies that come to the fore. The aim is, of course, as I said, not just to thrive, just to basically survive. You're going to have to get to a situation where operations can get uninterrupted. I mean, knock on wood, PETRONAS has continued north of 11,000 cargoes of LNG since its inception. The 1.7 million barrels, that's our entitlement, has continued unabated during the pandemic. Thank God for that. I think it's a credit. But we were really brought into a short, sharp shock when we had to map our digital access, exactly what Dr. Idham has alluded to. We need to actually assess if there was a gap, address it quickly, move on, and then the big two questions, which I think may be a part of another conversation, upskilling and reskilling. There are two big themes around digital, upskilling and reskilling, which needs to be on the dashboard and as part of the conversation of any leadership team today. That's agnostic, whether you're in energy, whether you're in retail, whether you're in, it needs to be part of the conversation.
Can I add to that?
Sure.
Because Taufik mentioned 80%, and this is a point that I really want to hone and stress to the audience that's listening. Because oftentimes when we think about data, when we think of analytics, when we think about digital skills, we often think that it's somebody else. It's like the data department, it's the tech department. But literally that 80% is key because you have to understand all different elements of it in order to make it work. Data analytics is not really data analytics, it's business analytics using digital tools. So that's why that 80% number is key, because you got to make sure your legal department understands what the implication is. Your audit department. So what are the implications if you no longer need to print and verify? You cannot do that. And so it's because, he's laughing because I'm sure he went through that. Because you say, no, the numbers need to be, I need the report printed and signed.
I can guarantee you, Surina, a lot of people are smiling behind their masks. We just can't see it.
So that's why the 80% is key. So we have this concept of a pyramid. Like everybody needs to understand the base level foundation. What does data governance means? What does data analytics mean? It's just basic, and then you start to get more and more specialized. So that's why that 80% number is key.
It's a great KPI, isn't it, Taufik? If I may bring Andrea into the conversation. Andrea, if you have anything to add, feel free to add. You're part of this conversation. If I may ask you if you have anything to add about what Taufik said about the role of leadership, about the importance of upskilling, of reskilling.
Look, I couldn't agree more. I equally agree with Tengku, Taufik and Surina. It really will take a change in mindset and an evolution of culture to embrace a new way of learning across an organisation. And to create that culture of innovation and to be able to enable the acceleration of digital transformation, it can't simply come from the top. And it can't simply come from a select group of people or leaders in the company to push this out throughout an organisation. So I love the fact that Tengku Taufik has called out the 80% KPI, because you've actually been able to even quantify that for your organisation. And we feel it's our responsibility to create the enablement and skilling initiatives to help support organisations like yours who have these ambitions. And that's one of the reasons why we were so excited to announce the initiative around skilling 30 million people and the skilling initiative here in Malaysia. We feel this is the responsibility that we have as a technology partner to empower Malaysians.
Thanks, Andrea. We'll come back to you in a little bit. Surina, may I ask you, today we've heard great programs and great initiatives and aspirations for the future. Where are your concerns in making sure that we achieve the full potential of these programs? Where should we be focusing our priority and our energy to?
So there's a quote that I think it was Thomas Edison that goes something like, "Vision without execution is hallucination." And so therefore, as we talk about here, my biggest concern, of course, is our ability to execute. And so we have to do more with less in half the time. And so how do we go about doing that? Which really means that we need to make sure that we've got the right teams on board. And sometimes the balance that we have here is that it's always easy to say, no, I'll just take somebody new, and this person will be the savior to run and build the new things that we need to build. Sometimes that works, oftentimes it doesn't. So which really requires the investment in the team, so execution. So therefore, so the execution part of it, I think this is where you really need to make sure that it's driven by leadership. There's a lot of collaboration, and idea exchanges are really important so that we can quickly learn from each other what's worked and what doesn't work.
Okay.
So because right now, my biggest concern, of course, is time, because we need to execute fast. And so how do we go about doing that? And when I say we, it's not just MDEC we, it's not PETRONAS we, it's not Celcom we, it's the entire country we, because competition is getting more and more intense these days. And so we really do need to make sure that we keep pace at mind and execution. We balance this whole, there's this constant need to execute and push forward.
So you feel the urgency of time? Okay.
Definitely.
Tengku Taufik, may I ask you, Surina said that it's important to learn from what's working, what's not. In PETRONAS's digital journey, what lessons have you learned? What have you had to tweak and make better from experience?
I think if you ask me that question in a different way, I have to answer you that we have had to learn to fail fast and progress at pace. That everybody works towards perfection, but under this kind of scenario, under this kind of world where we have completely been deconstructed and reconstructed rather, after this pandemic, we've got to learn new ways of doing things.
May I ask you what you failed at and whether it was fast?
There have been a number of, shall we say, learning experiences with regards to setting up things like anything from a trading platform that has to be responsive during a time like this one where volatilities were enhanced. And we also had instances where a rollout could have been done much differently. The phasing was done differently. We thought a pilot would have worked better, but perhaps a big bang would have been more effective. But I think the proof of the pudding is in the eating. At the end of the day, thanks to the company that Andrea works with, 18th March 2020, when the country went into lockdown, when everybody was locked in their homes, what would have been typically a process of let's roll out and test tools in small piloted phases, there was no choice. We literally had to go and say to ourselves, choose a platform, we'll learn and pick up as we go along. Obviously, even in the dispensation and disbursement of something like M365, which is the suite, am I being an advertorial for Microsoft here? In M365 as a rollout, I'll claim from Mr. Raman later. When that came about, we had to learn while we were on the trot. Okay. Because there were mistakes, of course, but we had to learn while on the trot. And that's the nature of digital. The solution set is never entirely open. Analytics, as we find, there's the weirdest linkages, the most novel linkages between data sets that you probably didn't envisage if you're dealing with retail, if you're dealing with LNG. But it is through the insight, the learning, the experimenting that you will find these linkages to help you make even better decisions. And that's the nature of the game going forward, Melissa.
Excellent. Encik Idham, I have to ask you the same question. Celcom, where did Celcom fail, and did Celcom fail fast, and did it get back up again? Did it learn?
Yeah, learning to fail is not an easy thing, actually. Yeah, there are many areas that actually we have learned, and then we have actually improved ourselves over the past couple of years as we go through this journey. I think the most, of course, one is technology, the one that we do. The other one is, for example, how we improve our app, so on and so forth. Can you imagine when we first started with our app, the App Store rating was what, 2.8, yeah, which is relatively low at that point in time. As of now, last quarter, we're looking at 4.8 in terms of App Store rating. So we learn how the consumer behave and the consumer use. I think one of the biggest lessons that we learn is about the people transformation. I mean, the technology we learn and go, but the people transformation is the tougher one. We undertook a big journey of agile transformation, right? Trying to change the way that we operate over the years. So how do we do it differently in the digital world? And then we realized possibly the agile off the book, off the shelf, may not suit the environment that we have. So it takes us a few months to actually rejig it and find a way, what is the agile way of Celcom? So the agile at Celcom, we call it. So how we do it, and then we start to do it function by functions. We pick a few functions first, get it successful, then expand, and then starting to look at agile process from the customer experience perspective, so on and so forth. But I think that's probably one of the most important lessons that we learn is the people transformation is probably the toughest part that we need
Right.
to
you talked about changing mindsets as well, right?
Mindset, of course.
And culture.
Yeah.
Surina.
I was going to add, so the great thing is that we're seeing innovation at the corporate level. So coming back to the inclusion part of it, we need to figure out ways, and that's where the partnership with the private sector is key here, to transfer this mindset and this knowledge and this know-how to the SMEs. I'm talking about Uncle SME, right? And so how do we go about doing that? So one of the things that we're experimenting with is accelerator programs. You take the same curriculum, the boot camps that we send the startups to, and they learn digital, design thinking and whatnot, but you send like Uncle SME there and see what happens. So typically it's the second generation that go, and then out comes like pretty good results. And so that's certainly this mindset change at mass at that with our SMEs is absolutely required.
Surina, if I may ask you to paint us a picture, right? When you say Malaysia wants to build a digital first future, it should be closer, than further away. Paint us a picture of what you see that to be like. What is Malaysia when it's digital first?
Yeah, so I think we can imagine what PETRONAS is like and what Celcom is like, right? So because it's like there's tech in there. I'm talking about our restaurant tours. I'm talking about kedai dobi. I'm talking about landscape people. I'm talking about manufacturing, where today many of them are still on manual. And so now, will they have the ability to do direct online procurement of everything? Will they be able to move all their manage their inventory, have data and track that? Will they be able to innovate delight their customers to say, oh, I'm going to go to Kayu Nasi Kandar and then I'll order in advance and pick up. And so that's what we want to make sure that we're able to do. So the same sort of delight that you get from interacting with digital-first organizations like the big tech companies, you get that with our SMEs as well. So that's what it means. And so that requires the businesses knowing how to adopt and use technology, but also the people as well. So this whole inclusive as well. So if you don't have bank accounts, for example, how are you going to transact online? So these are the additional things that we need to think about. And so certainly as we go over with the digital economy for our council, the different clusters that we have, and so these are things that are being considered at the moment.
Wonderful. Celcom, if I may ask you, what is your role in helping MDEC achieve that vision of the future, of including the SMEs, the Kayu Nasi Kandars, and all the restaurants to be part of the digital economy? Does Celcom have a role?
Yeah, of course we do have a role. I think we fits right in there, and then we have a few programs with MDEC that's ongoing, from grants to advocacy.
And that's been seeing good response?
Yes, some of it is doing very well, and some of our teams is working together in many areas, and then other areas that I want to work with MDEC further as we talk more about innovation and so on and so forth for the future. But our role is because we have access to the society. I think that's where we come in play. We have access to the consumers, we have access to the small, to the shopkeepers,
right,
and so on and so forth. One way or another, they are using telecom services, either from Celcom, or from the other operators. So this kind of partnership, and we are looking also is very good for us, it's benefit for all. But we're also looking at partnership with other enterprises, even with the likes of PETRONAS, for example, with the likes of because these are companies of even Touch 'n Go and the rest, right? Because these are companies that touches the life of consumers every single day.
Exactly.
So they come and fill up their fuel. You have Touch 'n Go who they used to pay their toll every day. They pay using whatever, right? So we want to work with a range of enterprises that touches the life of consumers in their daily life.
Okay.
Even the makcik that sells sayur at the pasar, right? It touches them, right? So that's our ambition.
Okay, so we've got about 10 minutes left, and I'm going to come back to end the session with Andrea, but allow me to go down the panel, and I'm going to begin with Surina. We've spent the morning really celebrating partnerships, right? And that is, I think, the key to achieving what it is that we want to achieve with the digital-first economy. May I get you to say a few words for the people watching at home as well? What is it that MDEC wants everyone to know about creating an inclusive digital-first economy?
So, number one, we have to embrace the fact that we're all in this together. I think that the digital economy blueprint, for example, highlights the fact that we're all in this together. I felt like in the past, you might think that it's so-and-so's responsibility, not mine. So number one, we're all in this together, and so we really need to make sure that from a skilling agenda, from a leadership agenda, we're all covered that way. And for those who are listening, I think that the most important thing, whether you are a leader of a Fortune 500 company or you are just a micro entrepreneur, as it relates to digital, as it relates to moving forward, it's just important to start to try and to have that courage, that confidence to just try it out. And that will build the momentum.
All right. Taufik, as a Fortune 500 company that Surina mentioned, what are you hoping to see that we achieve, and what is PETRONAS going to help to do to make sure that we achieve those, that unlock that potential?
Okay, a digital future for Malaysia cannot be delivered without the most important asset in any enterprise or society. I've gone on record many times saying this, results announcements, internal engagements, talent. There needs to be a talent ecosystem that also accommodates, engenders and enforces and really encourages the growth of digital proliferation within society. You'd be amazed, in my travels, in some countries, the normal fruit seller by the roadside, fully digitized, taking cashless transactions to sell fruits. We have
which country is this?
It's a bit to the northeast. I think it's, I wouldn't mention that at a Microsoft event. Of course, you've got other countries where in addressing the digital divide, you've got farmers who learn how to code, and in doing so, help put their products to the market much earlier. So if you're talking about, and again, I'm being agnostic, not just speaking from a Fortune 500 perspective or an oil and gas perspective, we're talking about having to ensure that this ecosystem allows for the growth of this talent class. We need to attract the right talent, allow them to grow, and within society as well, we need to accept that digitization is part of doing business. It is a business transformation, as Surina has rightly pointed out. So the talent needs to come along with it, and therefore everything from root to where you harvest this talent, the education system, the training by employers, needs to be shaped to ensure that digital indeed becomes a way of life.
Right, definitely. The ecosystem needs to be there, but the infrastructure needs to be there as well. And Idham, talk to us about what Celcom is trying to do in terms of enabling the digital-first future through infrastructure.
So yes, infrastructure. Without infrastructure, we can talk about everything, but people will not be accessed, will not be able to transact. As I mentioned, on rural infrastructure and the rest, we're working with the MCMC on the Jendela program. How do we bring the network coverage, at least the 4G coverage we're talking about for now, is all the way to 98 to 100% of coverage of the population. I think that's something that we are working on. Celcom belongs to the Axiata group, and as a group, we also build other applications and infrastructure to help this. We have Boost as our online payment. We have Aspirasi for the insurance, so on and so forth. We've been trying to build this ecosystem. Plus, we also have a fund to even get startups to build their applications and so on and so forth, right? But more importantly, I think it's going back to the inclusivity.
Okay.
And then if the audience in the room, I think, is almost the top digital specialist in the country, wherever in the room. There's audience that's listening, right? Which I'm not worried that whether they're going to become digital or not. If you are listening today, you are probably digital. What I'm worried about is those are not listening.
Right.
Right. Those are the ones that's not here. Those are the ones that we need to work on. So this is the one that I mentioned earlier. One of the pillars is we called it 3G shutdown as industry, but it's actually upgrading from a 3G user to a 4G user. So anyone who's listening, a little bit of advertising here, sorry. Anyone who's listening, if you know your cousins, your uncles, your grandfather, whoever is still using a 3G phone back at the kampong or even that's living with you, it's time to upgrade to your 4G, and Celcom has the widest coverage nationwide.
Okay, so he slips that in. Andrea, if I may bring you into the conversation, with the announcement of today's Bersama Malaysia, and after hearing from all our panelists today, what do you think is next for Malaysia as we respond, as we recover from the pandemic, as we reimagine a future and one that is digital first? Where do you see us going?
Thanks, Melissa. I can see the incredible impact organisations like MDEC, PETRONAS and Celcom will have with the My Digital Blueprint, creating the path for resilience. And as Surina said, we are all in this together. The Microsoft Bersama Malaysia initiative builds on that, with our commitment to Malaysia over the last 3 decades. And as we look to the future, as Tengku Taufik said, the digital future of Malaysia can't be delivered without a talent ecosystem. And it's crucial that everyone has a digital-first mindset. But as important as it is to digital transformation, it's equally relevant in creating a culture of innovation and inclusion. And as Idham said, without infrastructure, people won't have the foundation for digital transformation. So investing in a trusted digital infrastructure is the next step. And that's how Malaysia will build economic resilience. So in addition to our plans to establish a new data centre region, we're honoured to be working with the Government of Malaysia within the appointed Cloud Service Provider Panel, enabling a digital-first mindset in the public sector. Because people are at the heart of digital transformation. And as leaders, we must equip our people and digital talents with the skills and opportunities to lead Malaysia's digital economy. And with that, enable the innovation economy to thrive. It does take a village, a community, and a country. And we can only benefit from these digital opportunities if all stakeholders collaborate towards one goal for the benefit of the entire nation. Microsoft is stepping up, and we stand with Malaysia as we respond, recover, and reimagine the digital future for the country. Our thanks and deep appreciation to the Government of Malaysia, the industry leaders here today, our customers and our partners. Surina, Tengku, Taufik and Idham, we look forward to working closely with you on this journey. Bersama Malaysia.
All right, thank you so much, Andrea. Round of applause to Andrea, Surina, Taufik and Idham. Thank you so much for being our panelists today and for allowing me to moderate this conversation. It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much to all our panelists for that insightful session. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, let's congratulate Microsoft for its Bersama Malaysia commitment, which will empower every person and every organization to achieve more. Coming up next, let's hear from our customers and partners on their supportive thoughts on Microsoft's Bersama Malaysia initiative.
On behalf of MIDA, we would like to congratulate Microsoft for announcing Bersama Malaysia. Microsoft's long-term investment is a strong testimony that Malaysia is competitive and has great potential to become a regional leader in digital economy. Our nation's economy must continue to accelerate digitalization and innovation to remain resilient. Together with Microsoft, MIDA will continue to support Malaysia's goal to become a digitally driven and advanced nation as envisioned by our nation's MyDigital and industry-forward aspiration. Together, we stand with Malaysia. Kami Bersama Malaysia.
Hi, I'm Surina, CEO of Malaysia Digital Economy Corporation, or MDEC. We congratulate Microsoft's Bersama Malaysia initiative, and MDEC will extend its full partnership to help strengthen the foundation and development of our nation's digital infrastructure. The essence of a successful digital economy is highly dependent on data, infrastructure, and connectivity to encourage more innovation. As such, Microsoft's intention to establish its first Microsoft data center region in Malaysia will further create room for innovation and public-private partnerships. Additionally, Microsoft's skilling initiatives are equally critical to bring digital inclusion with our people equipped with the right tools, platforms, and skills to be successful in their digital transformation journey. This is very much in line with the three strategic thrusts of MDEC, namely empowering digitally skilled Malaysians, accelerating digitally powered businesses, and attracting digital investments. MDEC is committed to rolling out key initiatives announced in MyDigital to empower a society centered on 4IR technology, progressing towards Malaysia 5.0 and shared prosperity for all. We are excited to make the digital leap together with our strategic partners, including Microsoft, to achieve better results for the country and the people. Together, we stand with Malaysia. Kami Bersama Malaysia.
Hi, I'm Shahulami Dawood, Chief Executive of the Human Resource Development Fund. Digital transformation is more about transformation of the individuals utilizing technology. It is important for Malaysia to leverage on the current and future workforce by changing the way we educate, upskill and empower to re-innovate businesses for the nation's economic transformation. In this instance, HRDF is proudly collaborating with Microsoft to upskill approximately 300,000 Malaysians as a way to enhance employability through the HRDF Placement Center. Thank you and congratulations to Microsoft for its great initiative in empowering the Malaysian digital workforce to drive inclusive growth. I look forward to the greater partnership with Microsoft to future-proof the country while establishing its role in a global digital economy. Together we stand with Malaysia. Kami Bersama Malaysia. Thank you.
We congratulate Microsoft's commitment through Bersama Malaysia. We look forward to support Microsoft's long-term initiatives to help Malaysia drive digital inclusion in Malaysia. This includes Microsoft's efforts through comprehensive digital skilling initiative for 1 million Malaysians, as well as community empowerment efforts. Microsoft's Bersama Malaysia efforts reflects the critical role that public-private partnership has in helping our nation realize an inclusive digital future. This is to ensure every Malaysian, including the B40 and rural communities, have equal opportunities to participate and reap the benefit of our nation's thriving digital economy. This includes accelerating efforts to expand broadband access to underserved areas with the use of innovative technologies. I would like to take this opportunity to thank Microsoft for your commitment and partnership in Malaysia.
Today's highly connected world is at greater risk. Cyber threats have rapidly increased in sophistication as the criminals adopt new strategies and technologies. Hence, we need to equip ourselves with relevant knowledge, skills and capabilities to prevent and lessen the impact of these threats. In this context, Cybersecurity Malaysia, through our latest branding, CyberCasa, further develop and enhance our capabilities. As a cybersecurity technical agency, CyberCasa consists of 3 major components: people, process, and technology. I am pleased to share that Cybersecurity Malaysia and Microsoft has collaborated in many occasions to mitigate cyber threats and reduce the vulnerability of digital systems, while simultaneously strengthen Malaysia's self-reliance in cyberspace. On behalf of Cybersecurity Malaysia, I would like to congratulate Microsoft on the launch of Bersama Malaysia, which includes its first data center region and a commitment to skill 1 million Malaysians. This is indeed an exciting moment, and we wish you all the best. Together, we stand with Malaysia. Kami Bersama Malaysia.
Ladies and gentlemen, as the national energy company of Malaysia, PETRONAS is deeply honoured and privileged to support the Bersama Malaysia initiative towards realising Malaysia's vision for a digital economy. PETRONAS fully recognises and embraces technology and innovation as key enablers that will allow Malaysia to continue creating valuable opportunities and nurture new capabilities for the businesses of tomorrow. With this belief, PETRONAS remains committed to tapping into the potential of technologies together with Microsoft towards accelerating efforts in human capital development. These efforts must include digital upskilling, accompanied by innovation programs that aim to develop a sustainable pipeline of a future-ready local workforce. PETRONAS is extremely pleased to note that under the Bersama Malaysia initiative, Microsoft will establish its first data center in the country. Along with this, we understand the company will work to develop digital skills for an additional 1 million Malaysians through public and private sector partnerships. Congratulations, Microsoft. With our shared commitment, PETRONAS will continue to play its part in building an inclusive digital future for the benefit of the people in the nation, anchored to our purpose, becoming a progressive energy and solutions partner, enriching lives for a sustainable future. Together, we stand with Malaysia. Kami Bersama Malaysia.
Telecommunications and technology sectors are key lifelines to the growth of the nation's digital economy. And now, world-class cloud services will become the epitome that shapes the future path in our pursuit towards becoming digital economy powerhouse in the region. Congratulations to Microsoft Malaysia for taking the lead with Bersama Malaysia. With first regional data center to be established in Malaysia, it will provide access to a secure, scalable, highly available, resilient and sustainable cloud services for the government and across multiple industry verticals. As the anchor telco tenant, we are excited to bring the benefit of this data center to our customers and our partners. Celcom and Microsoft have come a long way in our partnership, embarking on innovative products and solutions for Malaysian consumers and enterprises. We look forward to strengthening the partnership with Microsoft in many years to come and continue to serve our customers by offering secure and reliable cloud services, accelerating the digitalization in the country. Once again, congratulations Microsoft. This initiative will be a catalyst towards an inclusive and sustainable ecosystem, propelling Malaysians and accelerating the country towards achieving its digital ambition. Thank you.
I'm the Group COO of MBank Group. Firstly, congratulations Microsoft on Bersama Malaysia. It is great to see a multinational acknowledging its thriving business from this country and seizing the opportunity to contribute to Malaysia's digital economy agenda. A state-of-the-art cloud infrastructure in Malaysia is very useful for all industries players, from the large corporates who already got their cloud strategy well mapped up to small micro SMEs who are rather hesitant to get into this space. Combined with the commitment to upskill about 1 million Malaysians under this Bersama program is very meaningful and impactful to Malaysia's recovery program post-pandemic. The government's digital blueprint and initiative like Bersama are critical to create modernized ecosystem at an accelerated space in this country. Thank you, Microsoft. Together, we stand with Malaysia. Kami Bersama Malaysia.
Hello everyone, I'm Siobhan Das, the CEO of the American Malaysia Chamber of Commerce. Microsoft has been a long-standing member of AmCham and we're proud to see how far they've come since their arrival in Malaysia. AmCham would like to congratulate Microsoft on the launch of this Bersama initiative. We're excited to see how close a collaboration between a US company and the Malaysian government can advance Malaysia's digital agenda. This initiative is extremely timely. Malaysia has recently launched its blueprint for the digital economy, and Microsoft's upcoming data center region in Malaysia and the commitment to skill 1 million Malaysians by 2023 will accelerate the development of the digital economy in Malaysia. It will also fill the employment gap and substantially increase the trained talent pool for the entire country. Congratulations, Microsoft, on this wonderful initiative. Together we stand with Malaysia. Kami Bersama Malaysia.
Currently, the businesses under the Celcom Group thrive on internet and data in providing that solutions to our large customer base from Malaysia right to Hong Kong. Therefore, Microsoft's commitment to establish a data center region in Malaysia is important as we at Celcom be able to drive the cost for hosting our software as a service applications down. In this, savings can be transferred to our customers. The data center region in Malaysia also will enable data centers to be certified by CDSO so that government data can still be kept within Malaysia. Celcom, as a prominent technology provider, will be able to provide true cloud hosting to small government agencies and micro SMEs at a very competitive pricing. I view Microsoft's data center region in Malaysia as a way of Microsoft empowering Malaysia to realize our vision and capabilities to lead the region's digital transformation. The positive spillover or impact can be seen not just in the e-commerce industry, but will widely benefit and influence how other industries operate their businesses for the future. Businesses from various industries will achieve productivity in planning, job creation, maximizing of the use of their available data, and also meeting the evolving consumers' needs efficiently.
Hello, my name is Rashid Shukor and I'm the Director of Country Operations here at Grab Malaysia. On behalf of Grab Malaysia, I would like to congratulate Microsoft on their Bersama Malaysia initiative and the launch of the first Microsoft Data Center region in Malaysia. We are truly encouraged by this initiative that focuses on measures to help steer the nation towards a stronger Malaysia through digitalization. The gig economy in Malaysia has become an integral part of the economy and has created new earning opportunities through various services, from ride-hailing to e-commerce to even creating content online. It has provided many Malaysians with a safety net outside their regular employment to sustain their livelihoods through difficult times. At Grab, we have always strived to provide Malaysians with access and inclusive earning opportunities. Digital inclusion with our technology has made this possible for our partners and merchants. As a homegrown tech company, we want to provide opportunities for all our partners to excel and grow as they join the nation's growing digital economy. Through this partnership, we are aiming to upskill over 10,000 driver and delivery partners within the first year to build their digital knowledge and enhance their employability beyond platform work. As part of our Grab Benefits program, our partners who are keen to improve their digital literacy can access Microsoft's e-learning digital literacy modules via Grab Academy in the Grab Partner app. Microsoft has been an important strategic partner for Grab. Through this partnership, we want to help not only Malaysia, but Southeast Asia bridge the digital gap to build a digital-first economy by equipping our partners with the necessary technology skills through training, reskilling, and career development support. This is also in line with our social impact agenda, Grab for Good, to bring digital literacy and greater inclusion to all Southeast Asians through partnerships and tech talent initiatives. Once again, thank you to our partners at Microsoft for their commitment and support in bringing digital inclusion and literacy for a digital-first nation. I hope this partnership will drive our nation's digital capabilities forward and provide more opportunities for Malaysians. Thank you.
As one of Malaysia's iconic brands, Malaysia Airlines aim to bring Malaysian hospitality to everyone worldwide. And to do so, we must embrace digital innovation to enable transformative, safe, and unique travelling experience for our customers. More than ever now, as countries urgently need to reopen borders, technological advancement is crucial to accelerate economic recovery. Malaysia Airlines' digital advancement encompasses all customer touchpoints, and this has already been recognized worldwide, as proven by a study conducted by international market research consultant Frost & Sullivan in 2019, placing Malaysia Airlines in the top 20 for digital readiness amongst international airlines. A lot has been done since our transformation journey, and we continue to harness innovation and creativity from within our internal talents to the innovation community in Malaysia. We believe that this is only made possible through our people's effort, as people is our true north. Therefore, it is our priority to upskill and reskill our employees to be the future-proof and to create a more agile and resilient organization. As one of our key partners in the upskilling initiative, Microsoft has greatly supported our digital transformation. In 2020, we ran more than 40 digital events to upskill more than 2,000 of our employees on various aspects, from digital awareness to advanced technologies like artificial intelligence and automation. The upskilling and empowerment infrastructure have enabled our people to combine creativity to bring new digitalization era into the organization. Today, we see traction from the organization in adopting digital technology, and we are expecting more accelerated digital innovation in days ahead. Malaysia Airlines would like to congratulate Microsoft for the announcement of Microsoft Bersama Malaysia initiative. It is an aspiration to enable more digital innovation acceleration within the country through upskilling opportunities, digital infrastructures, and partnerships. Microsoft Bersama Malaysia is a fantastic rally point to get all of Malaysia's digitally in tune, and we are proud to be part of its inclusive and sustainable digital future strategies. Together, we stand with Malaysia. Kami Bersama Malaysia.
Digitalization is an enabler towards economic transformation. This is echoed the same in the most recently launched Malaysia Digital Economic Blueprint. We in PMB have collaborated with Microsoft in 2019 to enable online collaboration tools. In 2020, when there were crises, we were able to service our customers the same, if not better, while all our staff are safe staying at home. We would like to congratulate Microsoft for putting skin in the game. by building data centers in Malaysia. We would also like to congratulate Microsoft for the commitment to train 1 million manpower on technology skills. May our nation and Microsoft have an inclusive, responsible, and sustainable digital journey. Kami Bersama Malaysia.
Hello everyone, welcome to Plus Malaysia. Plus has embarked on its digital transformation journey since 2017 for the sole purpose of continued business sustainability and growth. As part of our journey, we select credible partners and work with them collaboratively to attain our business objectives. Our partnership with Microsoft is the first of its kind, as it enables Plus to integrate the Azure cloud into our highway toll network system. Through Microsoft Bersama Malaysia initiatives, supporting inclusive growth, our workforce is embracing innovative ways of working, using technology to enhance the safety, effectiveness, and efficiency of our highway operations. We call this breaking through disruptions. Congratulations, Microsoft, from Plus Malaysia. Together, we stand with Malaysia. Kami Bersama Malaysia.
Hi, I'm Goh Peng Wee, the Executive Chairman of Civic Groups of Company. The adoption of and adaptation to digital innovation is not just a global revolution, but an immediate necessity towards economic prosperity. Not only will this transform the way we do business, it will positively impact the lives and livelihoods of our rakyat. Through Bersama Malaysia, Microsoft is committed to Malaysia to accelerate and create opportunities across all demographic segments. The Civic Group has long championed digital transformation by recognizing its capability for exponential growth. For over 30 years, the group consistently developed solutions to revolutionize in the banking, finance, and other business spaces. As a locally grown organization, I truly believe that Malaysia and her people have what it takes to propel ourselves into this new era. The nation is proud to host Microsoft's first data center region in Malaysia, and Civic congratulates Microsoft's bold initiative and wish them every success towards building an inclusive and sustainable digital future. Together, we stand with Malaysia. Kami Bersama Malaysia. Thank you very much.
Hello everyone, my name is Azmir. Sime Darby Property is pleased to join the Bersama Malaysia initiative. We welcome Microsoft's plan to establish its first data center in the region here in Malaysia. This will help businesses in Malaysia gain access to scalable and resilient cloud services and deploy analytics in their business operations. Sime Darby Property is the first property developer to fully migrate its core applications and servers to Microsoft Azure Cloud. We are excited to see how we can push more digitization of our business and develop tech-enabled solutions as we move to be a data-driven organization that can offer hyper-personalized products and services. Congratulations again, Microsoft, on this Bersama Malaysia initiative. Together, we stand with Malaysia. Kami Bersama Malaysia.
At CIRIM, we are committed to help realize Malaysia's digital ambition to support Malaysia's My Digital goals. This includes improving productivity and ensuring the continuous growth of Malaysia's industries. To succeed today, embracing and adopting digital and cloud technology is one of the key attributes in driving business growth. On this note, we congratulate Microsoft for launching Bersama Malaysia, Microsoft initiative to establish its first data center region in Malaysia, and a skilling commitment for 1 million Malaysians is an exciting moment for the nation. This will be a game changer that will accelerate the digital and cloud adoption among local industries. For CIRIM, in our digital transformation journey, our mission to continuously improve customer and employees' experiences by digitalization of our business processes. We look forward to reinforcing our partnership with Microsoft and local IT partners to help with Malaysia's economic growth. Together, we stand with Malaysia. Kami bersama Malaysia.
The COVID-19 pandemic has brought the urgent need for the digital transformation of the economy and our nation as well. In a world of rapid development in technology, digital innovation is the most powerful driver of prosperity of a nation, a corporation, and a community. At Sunway, we constantly invest in resources and infrastructure to ensure that our talent have the right tools to work efficiently and productively at all times. Our partnership with Microsoft has enabled us to minimize the disruptions brought about by the pandemic and further accelerate our digital transformation at Sunway. Congratulations to Microsoft on the Bersama Malaysia initiative. Together we stand with Malaysia. Kami bersama Malaysia.
Hi, my name is Muhyiddin. I'm the CEO of Webbytes, a Malaysian company focusing on digitalization of retail and F&B industry. I believe that the proactive initiative of Malaysia and Microsoft will bring high-impact transformation to our local digital economy. Here, I would like to congratulate Malaysia and Microsoft on the Microsoft Bersama Malaysia initiative, which we will witness the upcoming data center region in Malaysia, as well as the inclusion commitment for upskilling 1 million people. Together, we stand with Malaysia. Kami bersama Malaysia.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Microsoft Malaysia, we thank you for witnessing today's memorable occasion, and thank you so much for staying with us till the end. We wish you a good day and stay safe.